Morning, everyone. It's Audrey, Stitchywitch number 4. It is start number 4 for me this morning on this video because for some reason I don't seem to have my words. But what I wanted to do today is kind of sort of a stitch along update. I've only been working on one project, my Alphonse Mucha, and while I have some things that I'd like to update you about, I don't have anything else to show you besides my Alphonse Mucha, so I thought maybe I would show you my Alphonse Mucha while I'm working on it. And we're chatting. So grab your drink, grab your stitching. I'm going to adjust the camera and I shall be right back. Hi again. So did I say what today is? It's Monday. It is the 18th of March. And I have a couple of things to talk about before I get into talking about her. So my last two videos, I did giveaways. The one before last was my 999 subscriber. And the winner of that was Laura Gissenas. Gissenas. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, I commented on her comment and I have not heard from you yet, Laura. So I just noticed this morning that you started following me on Instagram. I hope that you give me a message soon with your address so that I can send on those goodies to you. If I haven't heard from you by the time I do my next video, I will pass them along to someone else. I've never had that happen before. But I think that's basically giving you a month total to respond to me for that giveaway. I think that's fair. Anyway, I hope that you do comment and get your address to me so that I can send them off to you. Last week, I did another giveaway. I did a Pass the Stash. I had taken my pieces up to Acorns and Threads to have Jolyn finish Ghoul and Rest Thy Scissors, and I'm passing both of those patterns along, Pass the Stash. So one of the reasons why I had to do 4 starts this morning is because when I started going the last time, the third take of this video, I realized I hadn't drawn a winner. So I had to quickly go run and generate a number. And 28 people entered that, number 9, Desert Stitcher. So again, I will leave a comment on your comment. Please get in touch with me either with my email address, which will be in the drop-down box, or if you're on Instagram, I'm stitchywitch42 there also. You could get in touch with me there, and I can get those 2 patterns and sent off to you. Yeah. Words. I have notes. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I think it's easier. I think it is easier to just do an update than it is to try to stitch and do an update, because I think I'm more focused on what I'm saying, even though I still mess up my words as much as I possibly can on a regular update video. But now I'm trying to remember what to say to you and remember to where to put my stitches, and yeah, it taxes the brain. So what I am working on is my Alphonse Mucha, the Moon. This is what she looks like. I think she's very pretty. And I had given myself a self-imposed deadline of trying to have her finished by May the 4th be with you of this year, because I started her on May the 4th be with you of 2017. And along with that, I decided to do a hashtag finish one challenge. So she is my third Alphonse Mucha that I've done. If you've watched my previous videos, I did one that was specifically on my Alphonse Muchas, and I think that's in the title. So you could go back and check that out if you wanted to see the other two that I've done. I stitched Morning Star for my daughter, and when I stitched that one, I was pretty monogamous. And it took me 13 months to stitch that one. When I stitched the one for me, the first one for me, Evening Reverie, that one took 11 months. And then I got into floss tube and I started doing videos, and I started doing more than just one single monogamous piece. But that's okay, because I've had fun doing other stuff too. But that means she suffered. She hasn't been worked on nearly as much as she should have been, because seriously, she shouldn't be taking 2 years to get done. The other reason that it's been so, I'm not going to say difficult, I've put off working on her because, okay, I know people who do HAEDs will get this. Anybody who does a big project where you have large sections of color, you don't see, because you're working so close, you don't see the pattern until you sit back and look at it. And that's kind of what happened with her. The color palette is dark, and so I don't really see what it is that I'm working on in the pattern until I push it away from me, and I see it then. And because it has been a fairly dark palette, I've just been pushing her aside and pushing her aside, and yeah, I had to give myself a deadline. So May the 4th be with you. 2019 is when I am hoping to have her finished by. Now, when I gave myself that deadline, I thought, yeah, I can do it, because I was starting this in January, right? And May is 4 months away. And no, the brain wasn't thinking. I posted my first picture using hashtag Finish One Challenge on January 28th. And it dawned on me when I did that it's January 28th and it's May the 4th. So it's like 3 months and a week. And oh my God, am I crazy or what? Well, yeah, the or what. So I have finished a couple of pieces, and I've shared those in previous videos, but pretty much she's been my focus. When I posted her, I was up here in this corner, and I had a little bit of this corner and a little bit across the top. Well, since January 28th, I made it across, and I got this all 3 of these pages finished. I am now on the final 3 pages. And in fact, this morning when I got up, had my coffee, came out here to sit and watch Floss Tube this morning, that's the corner. That is the bottom corner. So when I did my calculations the other day, it took me 44 days to go from here across. At that point, I still had 60 days before May the 4th. Can I do it? I'm going to try. But I'm telling you, the other ladies who have posted on Instagram using that hashtag, they are helping to motivate me. When I post the pictures on Facebook and people are commenting on it there, that is motivating me. And so and now that I have a corner, that is motivating me. So yeah, I think I can do it. Do or do not, there is no try. So saith Yoda. So this week, what have I done this week? Well, we had our... No, that was last week. See, I get lost. I lose track of days and time, and I'm sure that happens with everybody. We had our first Thursday meetup a week ago, and Michelle, Bandy Stitchy, couldn't be there because her job is not cooperating with her. They don't realize that it's just her they're affecting when they say, oh yes, we'll get you those first Thursdays off, and then they say, oh no, we need you to work because it's busy. They're affecting all of us. Am I salty? You bet. I need my Michelle. I do. But she posted and said that she was going to be up at Acorns Saturday, 2 days ago. And I asked her what time. And she said she was going to hang out there for a while. So I got out of work as early as I could. And I drove over there and got to hang out with her. I got to meet a new friend. Her name is Emmy. And she's also a floss tuber, so she's going to be my shout out for this week. Emmy Irwin. E-R-W-I-N. Emmy Irwin. She is one of the ladies that Michelle has been meeting up with down in the Eugene area on Sundays and stitching with. And, of course, the other person that was there was Stephanie of Pixie Dust Stitchers. We walked across the parking lot over to McMiniman's, had lunch, sat there and laughed and had a good old time. We had a discussion about foreheads, why they're called foreheads. I had heard years and years ago, and whether this is right or wrong, I have absolutely no idea. I had heard that a forehead was called a forehead because it's the height of your four fingers. It's a forehead because it's the front of your head. It's your I don't know. I guess you had to be there. Do you ever look at your bobbins and can't figure out where the start of the floss is at? I do. So we sat there and we discussed foreheads. And we discussed other things. Basically, we sat there and had lunch and just laughed and giggled. And then we went back over to Acorns and we sat and stitched. On Saturdays, I think from 12 to 2, they usually have a class there. But there wasn't that many people in the class, and Janine likes us, and she said that we could sit at the other end and be nice and not be too loud and boisterous. So we did, for the most part. I just love going up there. I mean, it has become a refuge to me to go up there and sit and visit with these people. I just love it. It's, it's something to look forward to. Oh, I have to tell you a story. When I left the shop and was headed home, went over to get onto the freeway. I get onto Highway 217 to head south to come home. And traffic was really, really slow. Had no idea why. When I got to the intersection where you would actually turn onto the freeway, it was blocked. It wasn't moving at all. And then 2 officers showed up, and one of them went over and stood at the freeway entrance. Cars were turning around and coming back up off the entrance ramp. So obviously something had gone on. So now an officer is standing there And she's directing people to go any way but to try, other than trying to get onto the freeway. So she looked over and got eye contact with me and motioned to me to go straight forward. And just to make sure that I knew that's what she wanted, I pointed straight forward and she nodded her head. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get onto the freeway here. I'm going to have to head south on Greenberg Road. And I don't know where it goes when it goes south, because I haven't been that way before. So, since I have Bluetooth in my car, I called Mark and I told him what was happening. And I said, will you find a route home for me? You guys can use GPS all you want. I use Mark. He loves me. Anyway, so he called me and he said, okay, he didn't call me. He looked on, he did the Google Maps for me. And he goes, if you're on Greenberg Road, just keep going south and you'll be able to get onto Highway 99. Turn left and that'll take you back up to 217 and you can head home. People are nuts. When traffic gets slowed down for whatever reason, people get nuts. The person who was driving in front of me, and granted, we were crawling along, signals that they wanted to turn left onto the side street. Oncoming traffic finally slowed down enough that somebody could give this person space so they could make a left turn. And then they turned their left turn signal back off and maneuvered back so they were directly in front of me again. Okay. Why? Why do people... Why? But anyway, I made it down. I got on Highway 99. I got back over on the freeway home, and I had no problem getting home from there. When I got home, Mark goes, oh, I should tell you why you couldn't get on the freeway there. And I said, well, that would be good to know. And he goes, it was a naked man. What? It was a naked man. Some guy, naked, decided to steal a car, got onto the freeway, crashed into another car, and then decided in his nakedness needed to get out of the car and run down the middle of the freeway. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Can't get on the freeway because a naked man is running down the center of the lanes. But talking of that naked man reminded me about talking about my husband's naked legs in my last video. And I had asked everyone to tell me stories, how they know they're loved. And I got lots of great stories from people. One husband lets his wife take a nap late afternoons and he will feed the kids and then wakes her up by having green tea for her. Another lady said that she gets foot rubs every night. Lisa, Silver Stitcher. Foot rubs every night. Whatever. The stories were wonderful. Having ice packs ready for their shoulders that ache, taking care of the children, picking up their cross stitch for them, going crafting, driving across the state with them to go to a craft store. And the main thing about all of them is that they were simple little things. Nothing was over the top, in your face, I'm going to prove to you that I love you. They were all simple, thoughtful things that your spouse, your partner, your children, your friends, your family The people who love you, these are the things that they do for you because you probably do the same things in return for them. And I want you to know I loved reading every single one of those stories. It was great. And thank you for taking the time to share a little bit of yourselves with me. Honestly, the best part about doing FlossTube for me is reading the comments, you know, getting the interaction with people, getting to know people. The fact that this community is growing, that more and more people are doing FlossTube, it's just amazing and overwhelming and fantastic. And, you know, we're meeting people, we're making new friendships, we're helping all the stores, all the shops. Janine has noticed a difference in her business because we talk about Acorns and Threads all the time. I've heard, oh God, I'm going to be bad here. The sisters up in Canada. Oh, I know what the name is. They've talked about Acorns and Threads. I know that Janine has gotten messages from the East Coast. When Lizzie Kate said she was retiring and she still had all those patterns, which she still has Lizzie Kate's in the store and they're on sale. And you could call Acorns and Threads and get all the rest of your Lizzie Kate's that you need if you wanted to. I'll put Acorn's number in the drop down box because, yeah. But there's also a new, someone had just posted this on one of the Facebook groups, the Pacific Northwest Stitchers, I think it was. I think I'm babbling more this time, but that's okay. You're stitching and you're drinking whatever it is that you're drinking and you're stitching and we're just chatting, so it doesn't matter if I babble, right? Because if it does, we're in trouble, buddy. I'm telling you. Anyway, one of the ladies posted in Pacific Northwest Stitchers on Facebook that there is another new LNS down in Lebanon, Oregon. And I guess this woman had her own shop when she lived in Southern California. And then they moved up here to Oregon, and it's taken them a couple of years to get things situated. But she has opened up a small needle workshop in Lebanon, Oregon, which is not too far from Corvallis, which is where Starlight Stitchery is. So I think, I don't know whether it was Pamela or Amanda said that this woman, most of her stuff is geared towards needlepoint rather than cross stitch. So when Pamela and Amanda are getting people asking about needlepoint, they're referencing those people to her, and she's sending people to them for cross stitch. I still want to take the opportunity to go down there and check it out. So that makes 4 now in Oregon. Acorns and Threads, Starlight Stitchery, this new shop in Lebanon, and I know that there's one down in Grants Pass. But then again, last night, I sat down and watched, I watched Emmy. I watched one of her videos for the first time. Again, Emmy Irwin. She's my shout out. I met her Saturday. Very nice lady. She said that there is a small LNS down in Eugene. So that makes 5 shops in Oregon. You know, if anybody wanted to take a summer road trip through Oregon, you could do needle workshops. Just saying, you know, I'm not trying to enable anyone at all. I wouldn't do that. Would I? Oh, yeah. So I did do a little bit of shopping when I was up at Acorns. I had been looking online for a small pattern to do because I know I have a couple of exchanges, small exchanges coming up, and I thought that I would look to see if I could find a little pattern to have on hand, something quick and easy to stitch up. And I found this cute little pattern, and then I got an idea the other day. Stop. Where am I at? Am I there? I missed a stitch. Okay, I can fix that. Oh wow, now I actually have to look and see what I'm doing here. 1, 2, 3, that's right. Yep, I missed a stitch right there. See that? I missed a stitch. Why didn't you tell me I missed a stitch? I thought you guys were watching me. What was I saying? Where was I going? Oops. I was talking about the small little pattern. That is what you call a blonde moment. Okay? I shared that with you and I did it on purpose. You're believing that one too, right? I found a little pattern that I liked, that I thought that I would get to do some future smalls exchanges. And then I got an idea. On Tuesdays, my granddaughters, Rowan and Riley, come over. And I asked them this past Tuesday if they would stitch something for me. And they said yes, they would. So I showed them this little pattern. And I'm going to have them both stitch it. I found it on an Etsy shop called Ring Cat. It's a little cup and it says Witch's Brew. And I thought I would have them both stitch this, but I'm going to alter the pattern just a little bit. This one is the teacup and it's got the tea bag here. I thought I would have one of my girls do the teacup, and then the other one, I'm going to extend this middle area by about 3 or 4 stitches up and make it look more like a coffee cup, and have the other one stitch it as a coffee cup. When I was over at Wendy's house a couple of Thursdays ago, had a lunch meetup with Wendy and Stephanie, Pixie Dust Stitchers. Wendy has her coffee and tea canister on the shelf up above, and she had stitched these little patterns to label them. And I thought, that's a really cute idea. So I'm going to have my girls, one of them's going to do a teacup, we're going to alter it to make it into a coffee cup. And because I want to make it easy for them, we're doing it on 14 count Aida. This is Dirty Aida from Acorns and Threads, and it's plenty big enough for me to get 2 pieces out and put them in Q-snaps for the girls to stitch. And then I got all the threads. So this is their palette. I'm going to let one of the girls use the variegated green. I'm going to let the other girl use the black raspberry jam. So they're both going to get a variegated floss to play with. I mean, come on. They're doing stitching for grandma. Of course they have to use some fancy floss. But then the rest of it, is just going to be in DMC. This pattern is what's the count on it? 27 stitches wide by 15 high for the teacup. And if I'm going to add 3 rows for a coffee cup, it's going to be 27 wide by 18. I think that they would be very, very capable of doing those stitches. And I get to have girl stitching. I think that's pretty cool. Then, up at Acorns, I had to get some more black anchor for Yoda. When Janine sat down and joined us, she handed me this little piece of paper, which is another pattern from Hands On Design. From Kathy Haberman. Permission is granted for shops and guilds to copy and distribute it in its original format. So I'm not showing you what the pattern is, but it goes along with the Spooky Apothecary. It's a little piece that is stitched up as a little pillow, and so along with it, she gave me this little package that's got a couple of little pieces of rickrack in there and a little green felted ball, because I bought the whole, pre-ordered the whole thing. But then she goes, oh, and have you seen the pins that go with it? And she showed me these. There's an eyeball and a frog and a bat. So I had to buy them. I mean, she basically stuck them in my face, so I had to buy them. It's my story. And I'm sticking with it. So, have all my goodies in my bag that I made. This was the pattern from Beth Twist that she made up for Acorns and Threads. And if you shop at Acorns and Threads, you get to get this pattern and then pick out your own flosses and stitch it up however you want and finish it however you want. So I made sure that Emmy knew about this and she got a copy of the pattern. So, you know, if you took a road trip to Oregon and you went to different shops and you stopped at Acorns and Threads, you could get a copy of this pattern and you could stitch it for yourself. Not enabling anybody. I believe in free will. Okay. I also got some stitchy mail. Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, sent me a couple of patterns, and I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to get that close to you. Looks like it's focusing. Listen, honey, I'm such a witch. She's kind of dressed like Dumbledore. Her robe's got stars all over it. But this witch is wearing red sneakers. Yeah, I have to do that. I have to do that. There's another pattern in there, but I can't tell you what it is because. Anyway, I think that is everything that I had to share today. I hope you were getting some stitching done while I was doing my stitching, and thank you for stitching along with me and getting a little bit done on this, because I am going to try and have her done by May the 4th be with you. First weekend in April is Acorns and Threads Spring Fling. I am not going to that. I missed out on signing up for it, but that's okay. My birthday is at the end of April, and I am taking vacation then, and Mark and I are going over to the coast, so I'm going to miss Spring Fling, but I have a trip to the coast coming up, and I am just so looking forward to that. So anyway, that's it for today. I will talk to you all next time. Laura, please contact me so I can get you that stuff sent out from my $9.99 plus subscriber giveaway. And Desert Stitcher, please contact me and give me your address also so I can pass the stash along to you. And until next time, live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye.